Hello, Taurus. This is Michelle from Divine Intuition, and welcome to this monthly Taroscope reading of March 2023. So, thank you so much for waiting. I know you guys have been patient. I was not able to do the Taurus reading for the month of February. We ran out of time. A lot of things were happening, so I had to just leave it for the month of March. So, thank you for waiting for your reading for this month of March, Taurus. Okay, Taurus, so let's just start right away. Seeing that you guys have been patient for this reading. Okay, so Taurus, let's see what's in store for you for this month of March 2023. Let's see. My little Felix, maybe Felix, he's sleeping right beside me and he's been waiting for his reading too, because he's a little Taurus. Hey? Yeah. Okay, let's see. What's in store for you? Okay, so we have the Four of Pentacles. We have the Knight of Pentacles. We have Temperance. And the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so pretty interesting energies. Lots of earth here, saying that you're an earth sign. There's a lot of earth elements here. Lots of security, lots of financial security, lots of financial success too. Okay, let's take a look at this. So we have the Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles is an energy where you're feeling a little bit of reserve. You're holding back your coins a bit. You're not giving out as much as you used to before, Taurus. You are kind of holding your coins and kind of trying to save up more money than usual. You're usually probably more generous, but this month you're kind of holding back. Maybe there is a lack of money, or maybe there is something emotionally that probably hurt you that you're probably not giving as much. But this month you are kind of reserving it for a reason. Maybe you're trying to save up money for a particular situation or a particular event, or trying to gain something, Taurus. So you are holding back more than usual. You're not as generous as you are usually in this month of March. You're probably, like I said, you're holding back for a reason. You're holding your coins back for a reason. You're not giving yourself emotionally too, because this also relates to emotion. Probably you're not wanting to give yourself out emotionally as well. You're focused on other things. Your heart is on the coin. You're grounded with your 2 feet on the coins. So there are other things you want to focus on. You want to kind of you're kind of holding back, and you're kind of like not giving as much as you want to towards your family, towards friends, towards your coworkers, towards partners. You're thinking more about yourself, and you're putting yourself first, and you're trying to you're saving up more for yourself than for other people. So you're focused on something in terms of finances. You are also you do have the Knight of Pentacles, so this suggests security. You do have a sense of financial security coming your way. If it's because of finances, that reason why you're holding back your coins, saving out more, holding more than you're giving, might be something in regards to feeling a little bit insecure. Perhaps you were a little bit insecure the previous month. You probably didn't emotionally insecure and also financially insecure. So there was something happening that you were a little bit unstable. And this is kind of like collectively what I was mentioning to the other um, zodiac signs for the month of February. And it was kind of like a collective feeling of feeling a little bit insecure, emotionally insecure, or even financially insecure. But in this month of March, I feel like you're a little bit more stable. You're a little bit more financially secure. There is certain things that seem more promising, and it could be financially, could be work-wise. Maybe you gain a new job offer. Maybe you're just seeing that your foundation is secure, and you are more stable than usual. You are financially much more stable than usual, and you don't feel as vulnerable, because this also is emotion, so emotionally vulnerable perhaps, perhaps you were emotionally, you didn't get that security, emotional security that you need and you desired, Taurus. So I feel like now you do feel more secure emotionally, maybe with the people around you, maybe with a relationship, friends, anybody around you. And you do feel more secure maybe at work, maybe finances. You have that stable foundation and you have something solid for you for this month of March. So yes, this is a very practical card, very practical energy, very stable. This horse is very stable with the coin. So yeah, you are quite stable. You are quite financially stable. You are emotionally secure, financially secure. So you have everything you need. And because of this, probably this little scare that you probably felt in the previous month, maybe that's why now you're kind of a bit more cautious with your money, or maybe you're more cautious with certain things, with your finances, or with giving too much to people. So you're kind of holding back and you're not giving as much. Maybe that's why you are holding more than giving, right? But you feel a bit more secure now, so you're good. Now you have the Temperance card, Taurus. So there is a sense of harmony and balance for this month of March. Perhaps you were a little bit more unstable emotionally. Maybe there were some waves up and down that could have been a little bit more chaotic internally, mentally, emotionally, right? Maybe the full moon's happening or things happening in the celestial bodies that always affect us emotionally, right? And the Temperance card is suggesting that you're going to be a little bit more balanced emotionally, a little bit more balanced mentally. So, and certain things that probably made you feel a little bit vulnerable and insecure could have probably hecked and stirred your emotions a lot, right? And so now I feel like the waves, the water that was turbulence is now kind of cooling down and calming down, and there's like these nice gentle waters, right? The waters of temperance that you can now put your foot down and see that there is kind of like a sense of serenity and calmness in regards to what's happening. So you do feel a bit more calm, you feel a little bit more serene and balanced emotionally, right? So temperance is also about kind of learning how to interact with your opposite element. So temperance is it's also like it's like alchemy. It's like combining two elements and trying to fuse them together to create something great. So temperance is also like advising you that you have to kind of approach differently to different elements that are yours. So if you feel you are more like water or fire and you need to interact with, let's just say you're more water, well, you're earth. But like, I'm going to give the water and fire example. So if you're more water, you have to learn how to like find ways to slowly interact with the fire. Or if you're more fire, how do you can align with a water element? So it's like you need to learn to balance both elements because they're your opposite, right? Or like, for example, okay, your earth. Felix is he relates to Luna because Felix is earth and Luna is a fire element, so he's like he's really listening. So like, for example, like earth elements vibe well with water elements, right? And you're like earth, right, Taurus? And so they, water kind of nourishes the plants and the soils of the earth, right? Or they work well together. And so does fire and air element. Fire and air element work well together. The air fuels the fire, it expands, it it's like an engine. So if like you have good partnerships with somebody who, let's just say if you're a strong fire sign, you would work well with a strong air sign because the person you're with fuels your fire, right? And an earth element and a water element, the earth it grows and gets nourished and expands due to the water element. It nourishes the plant, nourishes the soil, it nourishes you to become and expand who you are. So you earth signs work well with water signs, and like fire signs work well with air signs, right? But what do you do when there's like opposite elements together and how would they clash, right? Like water and fire signs tend to clash too, right? So yeah, and like um earth and fire signs would clash too, right? It's because it's not supporting the element. It's kind of like it's opposing the element, and it sometimes harm, right? So how would you work well with an opposite element? Same time, the fusion of two opposite elements can become something greater than both, right? So if like you fuse like it kind of reminds me of like because I relate this to myself a lot because my parents are two different elements, and then with the fusion of it, you can be a very empowered person. So, yeah, the marriage suffers, but the one that has birthed out of the opposites, it has two strengths, two powers, two sources that can help them in life to progress with more than usual than another person can. So or maybe I don't know. It's just it reminds me of like from Steven Universe. What is it? Sapphire and Ruby. Well, yeah, two opposites can get along. It's Sapphire and Ruby. You form Garnet, right? And it's the power of both power of both separate elements, right? So yeah, so there's benefits with combining your powers or your abilities with an opposite element because for example, if you team up and build something together, you can build something great together because you guys are the opposite elements and it's like alchemy and it just creates one, it's the fusion of both and can create something greater than yourself, right? So, yeah, opposite elements they tend to clash, but if they know how to harmonize their energies well and learn to give the proper balance of each other so it doesn't oppose and create chaos, there can be quite a powerful energy source there. It can create something greater than the both of them. So perfect partnerships too. When you work with maybe not relationship or romantic relationship, but great partnership, business partnership, right? And you never know, perhaps it could turn out a good relationship. It depends, how you're able to harmonize your energies together. So Taurus, if you're in dealing with somebody who is your opposite element, so if like you're, I don't know, so if you're earth or you're dealing with a fire sign, well, it depends what element you relate to yourself to. I relate you to earth because you're Taurus, but maybe you're more connected to the fire sign. So and you're dealing with somebody with water. So how would you how would that harmonize? Well, you have to learn the other person's perception of things and how they handle things. If they're more emotional and if you're more fired up, you may have to tune down your fire a bit, or if you're too practical, you may need to be a little bit more flowy and more like if somebody's more watery or more air and flowy, you're going to have to kind of tune into their element, be a little bit more emotional, maybe more connected to your emotions, or be more flowy with things when it comes to the air element, right? And less grounded and solid. Watch Avatar, and then you'll know the four elements, that movie, and then you'll know the difference between the elements, right? So yeah, it's hard to combine your elements with somebody else's, but it's not difficult. I mean, like it is possible. It's hard, but it's possible. You just need to know how what to add the right ingredients, and the right amount in order to balance your energy with that other individual, right? And you'll see that there can be quite a harmonious relationship. There could be a harmonious interaction if you just know the right amount of portions to add to your element, and they also know the right amount of portions to add to their own element into in an interaction, right? So yeah, there has to be kind of like a mutual understanding, a mutual agreement, and kind of tune into the other person's element more, right? So, water person has to be learn to be a bit more fiery. Fiery person needs to be a little bit more watery. So, that's how harmony can be created, and there can be a little bit more balance in the relationship with this other person or interaction. So, it feels like in this month of March, you are balancing your energies with another person or having that sense of harmony with another person, and it can be quite beneficial. You can see quite results with it. And yeah, and you have the Nine of Pentacles also. So the Nine of Pentacles is about kind of feeling secure in your work, in your status, and what you've created, in your reputation. So, like I mentioned, you do have something solid here, something secure for you, and that could allow you to feel more how do you say it? Like embracing what you've created. Like you've created quite a lot of things, Taurus. You have all these, you know, um, pentacles here that you've earned it. You worked hard for your coins. Maybe it's your career, maybe it's your job, maybe it's your business, maybe it's your foundation. You've done quite a few things. So you have this status. You've earned this status. You've earned this reputation. You've earned this, there you emanate that essence of you, Taurus, and you're quite grounded and you're quite comfortable in what you've done, or you can be quite luxurious. You could be enjoying the luxuries that you've done, and just feel good in your essence, in your being, in your reputation, in your status. You're even saving up. You even have your coins, right? And you are a little bit more saving up than usual, or more reserved with what you've done, and you're giving less, right? So yeah, Taurus, you are embracing that part of you. Enjoy it, embrace it. You worked hard for your coins. You worked hard for what you've done. And in this month of March, you're going to feel quite stable with what you have. And you're going to feel quite good about yourself and what you're emanating outwards. And knowing that you have everything that you need, and that you built a lot for yourself. You built your reputation. It's your reputation also. So yeah, you feel quite good, Taurus. So this is pretty good for you, for a Taurus, right? And Taurus need that security, need that to feel like that, right? So yeah. So let's take out more cards for you, Taurus. Okay, so we have disruption. So that's the Tower card. We have new beginnings, and we have emotional loss and firm foundation. So the firm foundation really relates to the Knight of Pentacles and relates to the Nine of Pentacles. All right, so disruption. So this is the Tower card. Nobody likes the Tower card. Happens, we sometimes certain things don't go our way, and we kind of have to accept it. There's certain things inside of us that is shifting and changing, and we have no choice but to face it. We have to confront these situations whether we like it or not, and they can be quite impactful. They can be quite disturbing, and it could be quite shocking, because shake up your reality of it, right? But it's necessary. You have to confront it. There are certain things that are shifting and changing around you. There are certain things that you're becoming aware of, and you're realizing certain things about the situation, about your environment, about certain people, and that can be quite shocking. It could kind of it can really turn your life around, and there's a little bit of resistance to it, because this person is there kind of holding back, kind of like not wanting to see it, not wanting to admit it, not wanting, like, it's resisting. You're resisting really hard, and the more you resist it, the more painful it will become. If you just let go and allow it, it's not going to be as painful, but you're resisting it so much that it's starting to harm you. It can harm you physically, it can harm you emotionally, it can start taking effect on your body. So when you resist something, it can turn like that, right? But if you let go, you'll see how things, are not as bad as you thought they were. Certain things in our life that are quite shocking and impactful are sometimes wake up calls to things that we were doing that are not good for us anymore. And it's quite impactful, because um, we're so used to living a certain way. We're so used to certain routine. We're so used to kind of a belief system that we're so engraved in it, that and to remove us out of that, it's really difficult. And it's difficult to kind of start seeing things differently, and start confronting a situation in order to change a lifestyle, in order to change a way of being. That's challenging, right? So yeah, the Tower card, disruption, there's resistance. There's a feeling of resistance to certain things, certain patterns that you've been following, maybe certain habits, maybe have bad habits, maybe, yeah, certain things that it's just difficult, to confront and to admit. And the disruption card is kind of like that wake up call, like letting you know, hey, no, this is not right. This is not going well. This is what's really happening. And you have to face it and confront it and release it, or not resist it anymore. So that's what we have to go through, is facing reality. And reality sometimes sucks, right? We don't want to face reality, right? And but you realize sometimes when things like this happen, you start to feel a little bit liberated, because when we let go and we finally like accept it, you suddenly start to feel more happier and you start to feel a little bit more lighter and more freer, and you start to see things different. Your perception starts to change, your view of the situation changes, and this whole time fighting for something that you were so resisting to, suddenly you let go, and then you start to see that why this happened and why you needed to let go and not resist it, because there's probably a better opportunity out there. There's something better for you, and you start to realize, oh, this is actually good for me, or I actually like this other alternative path, or this situation that turned out. Why was I resisting so hard? This is, maybe it was my ego, right? Because the Tower card is kind of like a shock to the ego as well. And you realize that, oh, this is a better outcome than I thought, right? But going through that Tower moment is like the toughest challenge, I'd say, to go through in the beginning. So Taurus, you also have new beginnings. This is the Fool card. So you are beginning a new journey, and this probably has to do with the Tower card, the disruption energy that you're kind of letting go and you're no longer resisting later on in the month of March. And now you're embracing like a new beginning. You're embracing this new beginning for you. There's like a whole new world there waiting for you. There's new options, new opportunities. You don't have to follow the same patterns you were following before, Taurus, that you were resisting so much. And now you're kind of embracing it. And that's why you're embracing these new beginnings, these new opportunities, options for you. Could be love options, could be job offers, could be new way of lifestyle. It's different, right? So you're embracing it. You're walking towards the new path for you, and everything's open for you, and things that you were resisting so hard and fighting so hard turns out to be something that was not good for you, was not necessary or good for everyone, right? And you realize that this other option is actually better, and there's better choices and opportunities for you, and things are opening for you with welcoming arms and much more, I don't know, much better energy and healing, and it's just more, yeah. So don't resist it so much, don't fight it, but you're going to realize that, oh, why was I fighting so hard? In the end, I like this, what's happening, so let's move towards this path. Okay, I'm ready for it, and it's quite exciting, and I'm embracing it. There's good things, good energies coming forward, new beginnings. So that's what I mean with new beginnings, with the Fool card. That's the Fool card. Now, there are certain things that you do need to purge. You do have emotional loss. So, yeah, there are certain things that, of course, it's quite painful still. It's still pretty painful. The Tower card is not easy. It's still quite shocking. There are certain emotional pains and losses that you are purging out and that you're feeling and that you don't want to confront. There are certain situations that are painful, maybe deep wounds that you have not wanted to confront for a very long time. And maybe you're now finally healing from them. And it's quite hard to confront those emotions. And that's why you have the Tower card too, because it's quite impactful. You're quite resistant to it. You're resisting to the things that have happened, or emotional pains that you've gone through maybe in your childhood or in your life, and facing them is not easy, right? And the Tower card is quite, you're resistant to facing it, but it's for the best. It's healing, right? And there is quite an emotional pain, an emotional wound that you're releasing little by little, and you're releasing it, that's very heavy on you. It's probably been following you for years, you never know, right? And you're healing, you're purging, but it's not easy. It's still painful, but you're healing. That's what's important, is that you're healing, and right, you're finally healing, and that you're finally releasing those pains. I know there's certain things that happen, certain obstacles that happen, but a lot of us have to go through that when we're purging and we're healing. At least it's not turning into an illness in the future. At least you're not going to develop an illness, right? It's being released from your physical body, emotional body, right? So it's important that you have to heal, right? So, and if this is not related to physical situations and related to emotional loss, maybe a breakup, maybe you are letting go of a relationship, or maybe something to do with family members. The realization of a family member could be quite impactful, or the realization of something that happened to you in your childhood. If you're seeing a counselor, if you're going to a therapist, that can be quite a shock to you too. But it's an emotional pain that needs to be released, and you are going to release it. Okay. Now you have firm foundations, and that's what's important. At least you're secure, your business, you're good with your foundations, you're good with your job or your assets or business or home, whatever, or land you have. And you have your reputation, you have your status, and you can embrace it. So, yeah, these go very well together, these two. So, yeah, you are quite proud of what you've achieved. You have your firm foundations, and you're quite solid with what you have and quite stable. This is the Emperor. I think, yeah, Emperor energy could be the Emperor or the Four of Wands, but I feel very Emperor energy in this one. And yeah, you could have some qualities of an emperor, whether you're female or male, doesn't matter. Emperor is somebody who like focuses on their work and very kind of responsible and very responsible in their in discipline in what they're doing, and because of it, you've achieved your coins and you've gained a lot of success through it, and you have a good status and reputation, and you have security money saved up, right? So yeah, overall, in the month of March, you're quite secure in your foundations and you don't have to worry too much about it, Taurus. Okay. So, yeah, so that's what I see for you guys for the month of March. Quite firm in what you're building, quite secure financially. You are withholding a little bit, you are more taking in than giving out. But your interactions and relationships seem okay, much better than before. You are balancing, harmonizing your energy with another person or with people around you, learning to balance your elements together in a harmonious way, being much more calmer and balanced than usual emotionally. Um, but you're still kind of purging certain things, certain emotional things from your past, which you are kind of resisting in terms of the Tower card, but very necessary to confront, right? But the best thing of all is that, you have new beginnings coming forward for you and you're embracing something new for you in your life. So, yeah, so don't resist it too much because it's something good for you coming your way, Taurus, okay? All right, Taurus. So, I hope you enjoyed this monthly reading for March 2023 for you guys for the sign of Taurus. And if you like this video, please make sure to subscribe to my channel, like the video, leave a comment below, share the video. And if you'd like to donate, the link is under the description below. If you want to help my channel out, you can click on the link below. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this reading of March 2023. And I hope nothing for the best for you guys. And hope to see you guys in my next reading, okay, for the next month. All right, guys. So have a great month. Bye.